Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're digging into the latest crypto analysis from Vantage Plus, published just today, April 14th, 2025.
That's right. And quite a bit happening already this week.
Definitely. Those tariff announcements last week from President Trump really caused some waves, didn't they?
Oh, yeah. Big impact. You saw it in crypto, saw it in U.S. stocks, too.
Hit both pretty hard. But then that 90-day delay news seemed to calm things down a bit.
He did, yeah. Gave the markets a bit of breathing room, a slight recovery.
So what we want to do today, our mission really, is to pull out the key technical insights from this Vantage Plus report.
Exactly. For Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, and Solana, trying to understand, potential price moves after all this volatility.
Okay, let's jump right in. Bitcoin first. Vantage Plus has it trading around, what, $84,980 right now?
Yep, that's the current neighborhood. And what's interesting is how it bounced back after that equity dip.
Finding support somewhere specific.
Yeah, right on its 50-week moving average. That's historically a pretty strong level for Bitcoin.
Okay, the 50-week. So the average price over, the last year, basically.
Pretty much. And the fact it held there, that suggests some underlying strength,
Makes sense. But there's a hurdle.
Right. They're highlighting this critical resistance zone around $88,000. That's the big one to watch.
$88,000. And if it breaks through that?
Well, the analysis suggests we could potentially see a test of levels above $100,000.
Wow, back towards six figures. That'd be something. But that 50-week support needs to hold, yeah.
Absolutely crucial. If that gives way, Vantage Plus warns it, it could signal a bigger correction is coming. So definitely a key line in the sand.
Got it. Okay, let's shift to Ethereum. ETH is around $600 and $650. Picture looks a bit different here.
A bit more, let's say, nuanced. It's struggling a bit, trading below its 50-month moving average.
Okay, that's a much longer time frame. It sounds potentially bearish.
It could be interpreted that way, yeah. Suggests maybe some longer-term headwinds are in play after that significant price fall it had.
But there's a counterpoint.
There is. Intriguingly, Vantage Plus notes that historically, Ethereum has sometimes had these really swift recoveries even after breaking below that 50-month line.
Huh. So not necessarily game over just yet. What would help it recover?
Continued positive risk sentiment seems key, like the mood we saw after the tariff delay. If that overall market optimism continues, it could help ETH stage a comeback.
Right, so watch the overall market vibe for ETH. Okay, moving on. Ripple, XRP. Trading at $2.1339.
Yep. And for XRP, sentiment really feels like the main driver, according to this analysis.
So that positive mood we were just talking about is extra important here.
Exactly. They see it as pretty vital for XRP to push higher. There's a key psychological resistance level they point out at $2,200.
220. Those round numbers often act as magnets, right?
They often do. Lots of orders can cluster there. So if XRP can convincingly break above $2.20, it might just spark some fresh buying momentum.
But there's a flip side, a pretty significant warning here, too.
There is, yeah. The downside risk they flag is if that 50-week moving average support breaks, XRP could potentially fall below $1,000.
Oof. Below $1. That's a big potential drop. Really highlights the risk.
It really does. Shows how these technical levels can be launch pads or, lead downstairs fast. Okay, lastly, Solana, SOL.
Currently at $129.29, it seemed to find its footing after the recent drop.
Yeah, it established a pretty strong support area, held that psychological $100 level quite firmly, which is a good sign.
$100 held.
Okay.
But resistance is nearby.
Correct. The immediate hurdle is the 50-day moving average, which is currently around $140. It's also lining up with a falling trend line.
So $140 is the key level to break for Solana right now.
That's the one. If SOL can push through $140, the Vantage Plus analysis suggests we could see renewed buying interest, maybe aiming towards the $185 mark.
Okay, so let's recap quickly. Bitcoin, looking okay, above key support, needs to break 88 pay. Ethereum, below long-term average but has comeback potential. XRP, needs good sentiment, faces resistance at $2.20, but big risk below the 50-week. Solana, found support at $100, needs to clear $140.
That sums it up pretty well. And all of this, remember, is playing out against that backdrop of the tariff news and the recent market swings.
It's Vantage Plus's technical take for today, April 14th. Good levels to keep an eye on.
Definitely. And things can change fast in crypto, so these are just guideposts based on the current chart picture.
Absolutely. It really underscores how these big global economic policy things, even temporary shifts like that tariff delay, can create significant waves, opportunities, and risks in crypto.
It's all interconnected.
Makes you wonder, What other global factors, maybe beyond just tariffs, might be worth tracking closely right now? Something to think about. That's it for this deep dive.